Well, guys, looks like we're going to be working on the Old Town car today. And here's what I got planned. Let me show you. What I'm planning to do is right over there, I'm going to install a new to me aftermarket radio. It's right over here. I got it all hooked up to the battery to make sure everything was working properly. What I didn't have for it was the brackets and the the plug and the wiring and all that stuff. So I've had to order that separately, but still, it's $5, $7, and it's ended up costing less money than it would for the whole radio if I would have bought it. So we're gonna plug this thing on in. My wife wants a backup camera, and she might be driving this thing, so I want a backup camera too. I think all this comes off, just pulls right off. I don't have to unscrew anything, so that makes that nice. I remember with the last one I did, I really can't remember. I know there's something up underneath the dash here. I think we got some screws up underneath there, but I don't feel any screws in them. Well, I got my dash loose. It, as you can see right here, it's all loose. I used my pry tool, went around it, and what I did is I started over here. It seemed like the easiest spot, and then I had to go up. I went around and just kind of, gritted my teeth and heard the popping and cracking. Yeah, you're gonna have that, guys. These cars are old, and you just got to take it real easy. But what I got to do now is I got to go get my keys. I didn't bring my keys out with me, so I can bring this gear shift all the way down so I can bring the dash out, because it ain't gonna work this way, even with the steering wheel tilted all the way down. So I'll go get the keys and I'll be back with you. Here you go. I just want to show you that even with the steering wheel all the way down, you still can't pull that dash out. Gotta turn the key on, put your foot on the brake, bring this joker all the way down, and then you can go ahead and ease the dash on out. Okay, now I'll have to get it out so far, and then I'll have to start unplugging. All right, the dash is all out, and I guess I can throw this thing up in park and turn the key off now. It was it's still really angry with me. Well, sure enough, that was the headlight mechanism that was keeping it binging, dinging, all that noise. So what I did was I took the 3 screws out. There's 3, see, 1, 2, and 3. 3 screws out that mount this to the dash, and went ahead and plugged it in. It wouldn't shut up no matter what I did. So we're going to leave that right up there, and we're going to leave the screws in some place where I put them, where I'm sure I'll forget what I did with them. In case you want to know, that was a T15 that I used to take them out for me. So now I can finally get down to business. I just got more taken apart that I really didn't need to. Got a bunch of Amazon bags over here. Got to open them up with all my parts, and then we'll get to pulling this radio. All right, well, I got my packages all open, and here's what I needed. I didn't have, with this used radio, I didn't have the screws or the brackets. Now, I was considering making my own brackets, which I could have done, but I didn't have the screws anyway. And, you know, these are some kind of metric screws. So, look, I got it all for, I think this was $5 to $7. Are you kidding me? Again with the battery thing? Anyway, okay, I had to get that. I had to get a plug-in here. This one is, well, you know, I didn't have to get this one, but I didn't want to be cutting on my wires, my old factory wiring. So, you know, I bought this one to go ahead and plug it in. And oh no, this one here's for the radio. Yeah, this one here is to go in the back of the radio because I had a wire that was cut way too short and I couldn't use it. So I don't know anything about repinning these things, and I just bought them. This was another $5 to $7. Then I got this here because I don't want to cut my factory wiring, and they give me a whole assortment of plugs. Look how many plugs I got. I got like 4 of them. So not sure what all these are for. I probably only need 1, maybe 2, but I got them here. And this is 1989 to 2011. That covers a lot. So I may need these for something else. And then my GPS antenna, I think this was maybe $7 to $12. You know, don't quote me on none of this. I'll try to put some prices up there if I can, but it was cheap, guys. I'm thinking this was more like $7. So if you really, my free radio, and I put 20, let's say I put $30 in it. So what? The radio that I have is like a $150 radio. So gonna put it in here and it should work. I bench tested it. So let's pull this out and see what we got. Oh, stupid light. All right, well, found out I have to take the clock off first before I can get to the bolts behind the radio over here. I took these 2 bolts out and I was struggling trying to get the radio out. It wasn't even loose. So I took the clock off and there they were, hidden way back in there. So I'm not sure what size they are, but yeah, my little socket doesn't say. It's just an old rusted up socket. Oh, there it does say. Can y'all read that? 7mm. So it's a 7mm. All right. Now this radio looks like it'll come right out pretty easy. Well, there we go, guys. She's out. It didn't take me 5 minutes. The slide is a little bit rusty. There's a little slide that this radio here, see the bottom of it right in the back there, it kind of slides on it, and look how big that sucker is.
That's what she said.
It slides back and forth, so it was a little bit rusty and made it a little bit more difficult to come out, but all you gotta do is put some oomph into it. This here does not look factory to me. I'm not sure why these would be here, but let's see if I got a plug for this. We'll adapt it. We'll put the coax on, and man, we'll be pretty much home free except for installing the backup camera. Oh well, guys. Wah, wah, wah. These connectors won't work. They're not the right thing. These are 2 different dealios here. One of these does not look like the other.
Pales in comparison.
So it's not going to work. I got to go back to the drawing board. back to the old Amazonian trail. All right, guys, what I got here, this is my radio. This is the one that I showed you earlier. And these are the brackets I bought. These are identical to the brackets, as far as I can tell, that come with this radio. And they are not matching up with the holes. You see, when I got one hole matching, the other hole is covered up. And you would think that would be universal. So I'm going to have to do some altering there to even make that work, unless I just use one screw, and I don't want to do that. So now, how is this going to benefit me? Because if these are on the sides here, then they're gonna kind of go in here. And what are they going to do? They just going to slide back and forth. How do I secure it? If it was over here, maybe I could put a bolt in there and screw it from the side, maybe. I don't know. I'm gonna have to see. I'm gonna have to do some figuring here, and then I'll let you know what I come up with. So let me see what I can come up with here, guys. Well, okay, guys, I'm going to show you what I got here for a mock-up, and you're going to probably freak out. But, you know, let's look at it. Well, here's what I did. I went ahead and I put the brackets on there. I got them screwed on the sides. And yes, I used a piece of wood. You know, this is just mocking it up here, guys. I got to see what'll work. I put this from the old radio on there, so it'll slide right on that little slide over there and kind of hold it. But then it was a little bit too wobbly from side to side. So I put some styrofoam on here. This is very durable, very stiff foam, packing like foam. I save all this, guys, when I get it. It's from a computer that was shipped, and I just got it taped on here. It'll probably get glued on there later if it works, but I have already tried this, and doing it here with one hand is not going to be easy, but here, we're going to get it. I want to get it for you. I can put it in there, get this where there. I think it's sliding now. Get the wires out of the way. And this thing slides back, and it's solid. It's solid. But I'm not sure with the dash how it's gonna all jive here. So what I need to do is to make my final adjustments and all. I need to put the dash back in, because this goes in on top of the dash where the old radio was behind it. This is on top of it. So let me get the dash in. It's a pretty simple thing to do, and then I'll push this in and I'll get back with you. Well, guys, we got a couple of revisions later. I had to end up putting the wood on the outside of the bracket to get it to go further back in there, so it would take a hole with the dash being on it. With the dash being on it, brought it back further, and that wasn't good. So I'm going to put it in here, see if I can with one hand, and show you. The wires are caught over here. Well guys, I got it in there. Look at all the fingerprints on it. And fingerprints don't show up that bad on the in person. But wow, it almost looks crooked, but if you look at the top, you can see it's not crooked. What I did is I got a piece of that foam and I put it up underneath, and it really supports it good. This thing is rock solid, and all I have to do is pull the dash out now and put my clock back in that I'm not going to be able to use anymore. I won't be able to even see it, but it'll be there for a filler because that right there is open. So pull the dash out, put my clock back in, put the dash back on, hook everything back up, and then I'll be ready for the front install on this thing right here, because it's going to install right from the front. So I don't need the dash out anymore at this point. And then I can wait to get my little adapter plug back in, and I can get this thing hooked up. Well guys, just like that, my package was delivered. Look at that. I'm not gonna need this piece. I don't have that plug, so I don't have to worry about that. But hopefully this one here, get off of there. Hopefully this one here will plug right into that one there. And just like that, it's in. Look at that. That's awesome. Now I don't have to cut any wires, and I can just pigtail it right on in. That's awesome. The other awesome thing, guys, is it tells you right here where every wire goes to. And I'm going to get a close-up of this because this may be helpful to somebody, because the wire should follow through in color. So if this helps you, just take a screenshot of this. I'm not sure about this this radio here. It started right up when I hooked it up on the bench. So we'll have to just do a little wait and see on that. Well guys, we're back in the town car. We're working on the radio, installing the backup camera, and I've got that dash part down up underneath there. I believe I showed you in the last video how I did that, but anyway, I have that down. I took these panels off of the side, and I'm going to be running the wire. These panels come off. No screws. They were really easy as pie. Just want to run that wire up there underneath the carpet. You come over to this side here in the back, which is the passenger side, and then when you get over here, this gets a little bit trickier, but what you got to do is you get up underneath this trim work, right up underneath here, and you shove that wire up underneath here, and you push it in with one of these plastic tools. You push it on in to where it's all hidden until you get up to about right here. And I don't know if you'll be able to see or not, but I can put a light in. We're going to put it right here. Okay, let's hope it'll stay there. Let's see if we can. All right. Look in there, guys. You see the light? So that's where we're running through. That's where the wire is going to come through. Then it's going to be taped to this strut right here with some slack because it moves up and down. This is all covered by this plastic trim that I already took off. Then we're going to run it up underneath here, which I pulled these tabs off already. We're going to go all the way up, come around. Very easy procedure. And we are going right here to the tag light. Well, here's the tag light that I've already removed. And I've done this with 4 Lincoln Town Cars already. This one here, I'm not gonna molest it as much. I went ahead, I always put a LED bulb in there, because with this, potentially by putting this camera on this part of the light, you're going to be blocking a little bit of your tag light, but you will never notice it. Let me tell you. Oh, I'm being attacked by a deer fly.
A deer! A female deer.
Sucker almost got me. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get the camera here. This one's a little bit different. Now the ones I normally get, I go ahead and I carve out this part of the lens and I countersink it and hot glue it in there, and it works out perfect every time. This one I'm going to do a little bit different. This one has a different bracketry to it, so I'm gonna put it just like that, and I'm going to put the little screws into it. Well, no, I'm not going to put it like that. I'm going to put it like this, and I'm going to put the little screws into the plastic. I might glue this on here first so I have my placement correct, and then go ahead and screw it, and then I'm going to be almost done with it. All I have to do is I'm going to cut a little cut in it right here to where I can lay that wire and go inside behind this up in that hole, and that hole goes right up into the trunk, and that goes all the way around, so on, so forth, inside, all the way up to the front. Easy peasy.
Easy peasy, lemon squeezy.
Well, here you go, guys. I could put a piece of Scotch, double stick Scotch brand double stick tape behind there. Got it exactly where I wanted it. I drilled it, put the 2 screws in there. I notched out a little small hole, small slot where I can put the wire in. This will fit nicely up in that little opening there. I put the LED bulb so it'll be brighter, because some of this is going to be blocked. I said that before, but it'll be plenty light for the tag, guys. And these little tabs, be sure not to lose them little boogers right there, because they are little boogers, but they'll hold in this whole contraption nicely. When you do these LED lights, let me tell you, make sure before you put them all together that everything's working, because they're polarity sensitive, so you can only put them in one way and you don't know which way that is. So I've already made sure this one works, but I'm going to go and I'm going to turn it on again and make sure that it's still working, everything's hunky-dory, and put it all together while it's working. Well, guys, I've showed you before, I'm going to show you again. This is the way you want to do your connections. This is the best way to do it when you're tying in. Don't use them little Scotch clips that they give you and all that. You just skin the wire back and you make a hole in it, and you try to get it as pretty much in the middle as you can. And then you get your other lead over here and you stick it in the middle. You put it together, and normally I would separate these and put one around one way and the other side put it around the other way, but this wire is so thin, guys, that's not going to be doable. So I'm just going to stick it through the middle. All right, see if I can do this while I'm showing you. I can't even see myself. This is the ground on this side. I'm just going to go through the middle like that. Then I'm going to close it up and I'm going to wrap it as tight as I can. I can't do it with one hand. Well, there we go, guys. Don't know if you can see it good enough, but that's it. All wrapped up. It's good and tight. I actually skinned a little bit more back on the negative side, on the ground side, on this wire, because I realized I didn't have enough to wrap around there good, and I wanted to wrap around that other wire nice and tight. Now that's called dry soldering, and I would put a drop of solder on there, but I ain't no good at soldering, guys. Every time I try, it doesn't want to stick to the wire, and it balls up. I don't know what I'm doing wrong. I get the wire good and hot, but maybe it's my soldering gun. Anyway, this here is going to hold it real good. I'm going to tape it up real tight. I'll tape them up individually, and then I'll tape them together. Well, there you go now, guys. You know, it was all black taped already from the factory, so it looks factory. Now we'll keep running. So what we have here is the trigger wire positive going to the camera, and then we got the other trigger wire that goes over here to the coax cable that goes all the way up to the front. Anyway, I gotta tuck this mess all up in here. I'm not sure on this, I'll tell you the truth. This one is a mirror option, and this one here says parking line. So I do not know, I don't know what these two are. I'm guessing if you wanted to utilize something else, you would cut them. Who knows? But I don't have either one of them things. So let's get to running. Well, guys, I got this wire run on the inside here. You see I went through the back here. You see there's some factory cable back there too. I just followed the same path, brought it on down, tucked it in between the seat there. Nobody's the wiser. Nobody knows. Nobody knows.
Nobody knows.
I went ahead and tucked it up underneath the carpet. Got to be sure and stay clear of these holes right here, because that's where the trim plugs into, so you don't want to get it pinched. So it's all underneath the carpet, goes all the way up to the front where it's tucked underneath. Can't even see it, a little bit right there, and it goes up and loops around. Well, guys, I got the rest of the camera installed. Went ahead and I put the little plastic rivet things back in there. That front piece was already busted off. I didn't do that, it was already like that, but it's not really noticeable once you got the trunk shut. It looks really good. It looks almost factory, we'll say. I like it. I got everything run up underneath here. I got this all buttoned back up. I had to replace one of the tabs that broke on me, and went ahead and I put the column cover back on with the wires underneath it, all nice and taped up and secure. And I already showed you it runs through to the inside. I got that trim all put back on, all nice. I went ahead and I put the front trim all back on, really nice. Underneath I haven't done yet. Well, here you see the radio. I'm gonna go ahead and pull it out, and as you guys know, I have put it in here with a piece of wood, and that, you know, that's probably the way it's gonna stay. So you can love it or hate it, or, you know, get mad about it, but that's the way it's going to be. So I got to track down the wires that go to the backup camera, find out which plug. I got to fish these wires that are on the floor up into here, and then we'll get them plugged in and hooked up. And let's make sure this thing's working before we get all froggy here. Well, guys, what I did, I went through all these video in, video out, video in 1, video in 2, and then I found one that wasn't labeled at all. No label at all on it. Now this is a used radio that I got, and maybe there was a tag on it at one time, but there's no tag on it now. So I went ahead and I said, well, that might be the backup camera. I tried it. It's going to be video in or video out, one of the two, right? So I tried that, and then I Google searched, and I got the wiring schematic, and I started going through all the wiring. And I had this one pink wire here that was a lone wolf that wasn't going anywhere. Of course, it, was supposed to be connected up to this one here, but this plug goes into the factory harness, and there was never a factory backup camera. Anyway, it said the pink wire was the backup camera. So I went ahead and went out on a limb, and I wired that up. And I tried it, and let me show you what I got here. So once I turn the car on, then the Android comes on, and when I put it in reverse, there's my backup camera. Of course, that's my garage door back there. That's an annoying beep. But there's my radio with copyrighted music. We'll get that off there. Well, guys, here's the radio with everything put back in its place, put together. I'll go ahead and start the car up. Open the garage door up where, oh, can't have that. Open the garage door up so I don't die. There's some little fine tuning that I'd like to make on this. I may adjust it a little bit more up. Right now it's, I don't know, it's a happy medium, and everything is functional, and I'm pretty happy with it. To be honest with you guys, it's been a couple months since I have done this, started this video, and I've lost the hardware. I don't know where I put it. I moved it around, and I don't know where. So I'm gonna have to find some more. There's 2 screws that I want to put on the radio yet to make it perfect, and I don't know. We'll use it, we'll enjoy it. I got the backup camera here working. I love it. That's awesome. I have never had a backup camera on this car. So guys, until next time,